Hi, welcome to Stuck Time to Improv. And today our guest is Allan Hirsch from Allan Hirsch Advisors. So he's got really good tips for early stage startups. Allan, tell me a little bit about Allan Hirsch Advisors and what your main product is.
Well, for us, the most important thing is we believe in making a difference in people's lives. We believe in helping them change or adapt what they want to do so that they create an ongoing business that can grow and prosper. And as we like to say, we work with CEOs and business owners to give them alternatives and better decision-making processes so they can grow their business.
One of the first things that startups always ask about is how do I get customers? And I think you've got some really good ideas about generating leads. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, first of all, I published a book called 45-Minute Breakthroughs, which goes through 8 of the 40 processes that we use to help people find ways to create leads. So one of the things I talk to new businesses about is to create an attractive market dominating statement that starts with why you do what you do. And most of these startups, they need to be around the passion of the individual so that they can survive the downturns and fight through them and not give up. So they need a passion for what they're doing. And that starts to create a market dominating statement. And then they create the value proposition, which is what they do that other companies don't do. As you go through all of your websites, most of them are the same. Mm. Most people say the same thing. We create, SEO work. We create, more contacts for your website, but they really don't, because they don't follow up. They don't create the lead generation that needs to be there, so that if you get 5 this month, you're going to get 5 next month, 5 the next month, 5 the next month. All of a sudden, you've got 25. If you're going to get 10% response, you're going to get 2.5. You're going to get 3.5. You're going to get 5%. And a year down the road, you might get 10 or 20 new buyers. So you've got to create that landing page that attracts new customers to a web-based demand system that you can follow up on a weekly, bi-weekly. It takes 7 to 12 times for someone that's reviewing a website to want to buy.
Right. It takes 7 to 12 touch points, and it could be a website, it could be meeting someone in a Zoom meeting, it could be a social media post with the same company.
Right.
It
could be, but if you do what I do, I can do this automatically. I don't have to touch everybody. I automatically do it. I've got a 52-week cycle that goes through and sends an email and a video every week.
Right. So you contact your clients and potential clients weekly? Is that your formula?
We try to do it weekly, yes.
Sounds good. How often do you do a brand new video, or have you been using evergreens?
I've been using the same videos over and over again.
And how long did it take you to?
I've been using this program for about a year now.
Okay. So how long did it take you to set things up so that then they could be automated?
It took about, well, I had some help. So it took about, I guess, a month and a half.
Okay.
Of time. And then you have to look at other ways that, which the book describes, other ways to build your practice, your business. Mm-hmm. You have to look at joint ventures. Take, for example, a wedding planner. Mm-hmm. Who's going to sell the wedding couple before you start And after you finish, who's going to, you get your hotels, you have your florists, you have your uh,
Yeah, the photographers.
the photographer, the clothing designers, the all those kinds of people. You can join in joint ventures, and you can recommend to them when you get a client, and they can recommend to you when you get a client. And most companies don't even bother with that.
Mhm. And another term for joint venture is strategic alliance.
Same thing. It's a
Right.
strategic alliance, joint venture. It doesn't have to cost you anything. If you want to give them a fee for referrals, that's fine. And you can exchange fees if you want to. But most people don't even think about joint ventures and trying to create business opportunities for themselves.
Well, that sounds really good. Do you have other kinds of advice, do you think, for early stage
Oh,
startups?
yeah. I mean, one of the things I find when I work with early stages, most early stage manufacturers are well underpriced.
Mhm. And does that go along with the, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, and that's.
It's about selling you need to know what your value is. If you're underselling and if the market's $200 an hour
Right.
and you're charging $100 an hour, do you customers think they're going to get the full value of of what you're giving?
Right.
Well, some people will say yes, but you're not even getting close to the average price. So if
Right.
you took it to $200 and you lost 10% of your clients, you'd have 40% more profit.
It is a numbers game and a volume game. That is for
Right.
sure.
It's a volume game. And one of the, I did this with someone in Utah. We increased her price by $75 an hour. She didn't have one complaint by a client.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it increased her profits substantially.
So people are starting to realize that you do get what you pay for. Is there a particular biggest mistake, in your opinion, that startups make?
I think one mistake companies across the board make is discounting.
Mm.
If you have a $100 product and you discount it 10%, and your cost is $60 per unit, you make $40 profit.
Yeah.
If you discount it 10%, you've already lost 25% of your profit.
Yeah.
And you've got to sell almost 50% more product to make up the sales.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the biggest things is never discount. You're better off raising your prices, losing 10% of your customers, and having 40% more profits. And one of the things that I really haven't talked about is trying to do a business plan for startups.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important that you have a business plan, including a financial plan. I've helped people put those together. But it becomes a guideline. It should not become the end all and be all of what you're going to do.
Right.
It gives you the guidance of where you should go, because things change every day.
Well, Allan Hirsch, thank you so much for joining me on my Facebook Live, and come back and see us next week for Stuck, Time to Improv.